if you're a fucking, I write. I can't draw worth a shit. I write prose fiction. I love writers, but if you're looking at comics, and if you're one of those persons that it's like writer before artist, you deserve a Gonzo bomb. You deserve to be dropped right on your fucking head, because it's a visual medium, and the visuals sell the books. Period. Just like the characters sell the books. Oh, that's epic. I like every comic book. It's Star Wars inspired. Yeah, every comic book cover should look like this, where it looks like they took their fucking time.
And he probably only did it in an act.
Probably about 8 or 9 hours, I'd assume.
But
like
based on the original Red Hood and the Outlaws outfits, like Jason got the coat, the outfit stuff. The way he did their space outfit, he kept like the color of the jacket.
Oh yeah.
Let Roy keep his baseball hat over his new space costume. This girl was just like a flight attendant.
So she's not even an actual character in the book.
Oh, she's an actual
I mean, like
a
member of the Red Hood or the Outlaws.
But she got pulled into it.
That was an awkward phrasing. That's a like, I think every comic book cover should
I've got
look.
the single that has this, as well as volume 2.
Who's the Drew Struzan is the guy who does the epic Star Wars painted
And he gives Jason a
movie posters. Is it Drew Struzan that does the classic the iconic Star Wars painted movie posters? Every comic book should look like one of those iconic Star Wars movie posters or an Indiana Jones movie poster. That one's really good, but it's still too comic booky. I prefer the other one.
Back to back with Superman, Starfire.
Mm-hmm.
They even write a couple of lines of dialogue saying that Starfire's one of the most powerful planets.
Yeah.
Like dropping her close.
Yeah.
This one was Night of the Owls. Caught in.
Oh, I really like that one.
Yeah.
Going back to like when I was talking about Rocafort's influences.
Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
With Ron Spike and all those cats.
When I was briefly.
This one, the watercolors.
Yeah, I remember that one. When I was briefly talking about how I can't say definitively what Rocafort's influences are, is like I've been a Brett Booth fan since his first published book, which was Wildcats #0, which was bound with the first Wildcats trade paperback. And I could have sworn up and down that Jim Lee was one of Brett Booth's influences. Turns out the only reason why anyone would think that is because he shared studio space with Jim Lee. So Jim Lee was like an art coach. It's like saying Mike Tyson was an influence on Conor McGregor, but turns out they just share the same fucking coach.
Ironically, as of yesterday, there was a Nate Diaz interview, an hour-long Nate Diaz interview by Ariel Helwani.
Saw that.
On the MMA Hour.
Didn't see the interview, but I heard about it.
But Tony Ferguson and Conor McGregor share the same.
Interesting. So turns out like some of Brett's main influences are like Arthur Adams, which now I definitely can see it. And Arthur Adams is by far one of my favorite fucking comic book artists of all time. He is the best Godzilla artist in comic books, period. No one draws. Which Godzilla book? Oh, no, I have no information on that. I do know that whoever drew it is not Arthur Adams. And no one can draw Godzilla like Arthur Adams does. Like, absolutely no one. Like I have an official guidebook of everything Godzilla up until like Godzilla versus Destoroyah, which was in 1997, I believe. And Arthur Adams provided a lot of illustrations for that. And it's an official book done by an American publication, but to be an official book, it had to get a sign off by Toho. And Toho loves Arthur Adams illustrations. So, like when he draws Godzilla, you know it's fucking Godzilla, which is great. Arthur Adams also drew the only Alan Moore written Godzilla book. So that's pretty cool. I gotta push a button over here. I think some more monsters are gonna come out. Maybe not. Okay, cool.
It's working. We're online and functional. Finally, some good news. Get a tram to the bridge, Isaac. I'm gonna take us back into a geostation.
Wait, we're not safe yet. Ship's asteroid defense system is offline. On the way up, the ship's going to pass through a debris field thrown up from the planet crack. We'll be ripped to pieces unless you restart.
Here's what's really interesting about this game.
Damn it.
This Dead Space
I'll start
game.
working on it from here. Isaac, meet me at the bridge. You can do more good here than I can.
After reading some of Anthony Johnston's actual comics later in his career, and then reading, like going through this game, the story, the plot, and reading the dialogue in this game.
Isaac, where are you?
Sorry, I giggled because
Nicole.
I know certain plot points, and maybe some of you won't. Some of the dialogue and the tone, maybe it's just the voice acting. Maybe it's not Anthony Johnston. Maybe it is. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but some of this is like, I've played through this game so many fucking times, but all of a sudden some of this dialogue and everything is really coming across very amateurish. Like, you have these two characters
that's exactly why I do not play Persona or Final Fantasy 15 in English. Because it sounds so fucking cheap and corny and like old school, like Newgrounds fucking video voice acting. It's trash.
Oh yeah, when you play a Japanese game that's dubbed into English, I can't handle it. I don't like it. One of the main reasons is the lips never fucking match the language they're speaking. I've had that problem ever since I was a kid, going back to the old school kung fu films that I grew up with. I was like, why are they not? What's going on with their fucking mouths? They're speaking English, but they're not speaking English. I'm a fucking subbed versus dubbed dude. Subbed all the fucking way. I would rather read the subtitles and go with it in the original language than fucking go with some dubbed shit where it looks like some weird alien fucking thing. That's just me. And I have a lot of issues when it's a Japanese video game. And they bring in the dubbed voices, because it changes things. It always changes context of what they're saying. It changes the meaning of what they're saying. It changes a lot. And especially like in certain context or certain I think there's an I word that I'm trying to say, and that there isn't that word there. There's a certain like there. Sometimes the Japanese language is very harsh, and then when it comes back to English, like when you can't do it in Tekken, because Tekken spoils the shit out of us. Tekken spoils the shit out of us because every character speaks their original national language. But in other fighting games, like if you play Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 5, if you play all the characters in English, like you miss certain fucking like audio cues with the fucking dialect. Like you miss the fucking intensity of certain characters. Yeah. Because it's just like, okay, well, in the English canon, Akuma is possessed by a devil. So you get this dude who comes in, he reads for the part, and he does the part, and now he's like, I'm super evil. But then when you just listen to the Japanese part, he's just like, Kasamaka. Like, he's just dismissive. Like, you're not good enough to beat me. But when you listen to the English version, he's just like, oh, I'm so evil. Goki Akuma, he's not evil. Bison, M. Bison, he's evil. And you can hear the differences in the Japanese, the way that the voice actors in the Japanese versions speak. You can't hear that difference in the way that the English voice actors speak in that game. And it fucking pisses me off. And there's a reason this rant started. And, it was the Anthony Johnston dialogue being spoken by these voice actors. Like, from the get-go of this game, A Dead Space that I'm speaking, you can tell immediately that one of the two characters that are constantly in your ear are wrong. And it's pretty predictable on which one is wrong. And since some people might fucking not know which one's wrong, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's very predictable. Listening to it now, I'm not sure if it's Anthony Johnston's writing or if it's the fucking, just the way that the voice actors are speaking it. But it's kind of fucking shitty, I think. In my opinion, it's not. Wait, how many credits did I have? I didn't check. Sorry for all the pauses and the lags, by the way. Anyone who watches this on fucking YouTube is gonna be like, "Oh, you're not doing shit, bruh." It's been like an hour and you haven't done nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna do things because I can play the game and have a conversation. The problem is when I go to do a blah 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 and have a cigarette. Oh, did I really just finish all that? Okay, cool. Okay, so it took me an hour to finish the second half of episode 3.
You know what I really hope happens?
What?
Is I took Persona away from just before we finished it. I hope that's what happened. Maybe not.
5s.
But whatever.
I think he kind of deserves it.
Oh yeah.
After that whole fucking, I don't mean to pressure you, but you need to buy this game fucking thing.
Absolutely fucking next level.
That was some next level, like. That was.
I lost what? 8 games total? Nio was like the big loss.
11 games total. Because we counted, and 11. It was 11 out of 115. You gave him 115, he gave you 11.
It's more now because I just got absolutely